Here we go. Hey there, it's Jim and Debbie with another episode of the Midday Minute. Debbie, it seems like we were just doing this last week.
It really does. Weeks fly by, Jim.
How have you been?
Been hanging in there. Week 12.
Hey, I sent my canaries into the coal mine earlier today.
Oh, yeah, you did?
Yeah, Megan took Patrick and Jane out to get their haircut. Now I'm going to closely monitor them now that they're back. And if they look okay in a few days, maybe I'll go get my haircut as well.
You're going to quarantine them for 2 weeks now, and then you'll consider going?
I don't think I can afford to wait 14 more days. I've been trying to do it myself, and we talked about it before, and it does not hold up to close scrutiny. But you know what does hold up to close scrutiny, Debbie, is the new YouTube series that we launched on the channel on Monday.
Yeah, how about it? 20 for 20.
That's right, 20 for 20. That's what the show is going to be about. We're going to try to encourage all of our loyal mateys to get over there and watch that new show. But before we do that, we have a contest winner to announce.
Yes, I'm excited to announce that Trustin Shull has won the $50 soft credit this week for commenting with the hashtag ENF Midday. So thanks, Trustin, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting on the last episode. That's all it took. It was so easy, and now Trustin wins a $50 soft credit in his name to the ENF funded program of his choice. So he will receive recognition credit for that gift. His lodge will receive per member giving credit for that gift, and all he had to do was comment on the episode. You too will have a chance to win a $50 soft credit after this episode. So comment below and tell us what you'd like us to cover in an upcoming episode of the show.
Please do.
Yep, and thanks, Trustin. Thanks again for watching, and thanks also for being one of our loyal Fidelity Club members. You guys have really been our rocks as we've been weathering the first few months of this fiscal year in this pandemic. Fundraising is down across the board, but our Fidelity donors are there with steady, reliable, consistent, and necessary support. We thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So 20 for 20. This is replacing our video series we've done the past few years called The Future Looks Like, because obviously we lost the opportunity to interview our top 20 scholars during the leadership weekend because this year's leadership weekend was virtual, as we talked about. So instead, what we're doing is 3 of our staff members, John Kabula, Christine Robinson, and Kathleen Draper, are taking turns sitting down with the top 20 finalists for interviews via Zoom, which we will be sharing you every Monday on our YouTube channel.
Good cross-program promotion here.
All right, the first episode starred Philo Habib, who is now a scholar from, where is he?
His sponsoring lodge is Lincoln, Nebraska, and he's going to be going to the University of Nebraska in Omaha.
Right. So yeah, and it was really a wonderful premiere for the series. He did a great job, and I suspect they're all going to be great. It's a chance for our donors to see a little bit of the return on their investment, or at least where we're investing their money and the difference that they are making through their donations to the foundation. You got a chance to watch the first one, right?
I did.
Anything stick with you about it that you liked?
Yeah, actually, what stuck with me almost right away was, as you said, we weren't able to be in person, right, for our leadership weekend, but the sense of what Elks family means and the fact that, they've joined this network of Elks across the country that are going to be there to support them, not only as undergraduates, but after school, already is sticking. Like, he already gets that. He hasn't even gotten his first scholarship check. He's only been an Elks scholar for 3 months, right?
Yeah, that's it. He said the Elks connect people. That's what you do.
Right. I loved that. Right. I loved that's coming through loud and clear, despite the fact that we didn't have the opportunity to be with him and get to know him as well as we might have otherwise gotten to know him if we were together in Chicago. But it seems like the game night really helped.
Well, that was one of the things that stuck with me is my ears perked up when he said that his favorite thing about the virtual leadership weekend was the game night, because I helped host that. But then he proceeded to say he most enjoyed one of the games that happened after I jumped off the. So wah.
No offense.
So it was nice, and the game night was a nice way that we were able to, make the leadership weekend feel a little bit more personal, a little bit more like a family.
Right.
By hosting that Elks family game night.
Right. I think we're going to hear that a few more times during the series.
Yeah, I would hope so. Some other things, like I loved when we asked him to talk about service. He he talked very personally about his best friend died, was killed
Yeah.
by a drunk driver, and that prompted him to get active with MAD, and he and some other friends conducted a fundraiser to raise money. They sold T-shirts, and they were able to make some money, which they donated to MAD. And it was nice that so many of there's some great service stories by our scholars, and many of them are these really big, ambitious nonprofits. But this was just more of a, like a nuts and bolts approach, and I loved how he connected to it. It was so personal to him, and
Right.
they were able to see if they were able to focus on something they could do, sell T-shirts, and how they were able to make some money to donate to MAD. So that was really cool too.
Yeah, that was really cool. Born out of that tragedy and that experience of losing a friend, that he was able to mobilize and do something for good.
One other thing that stuck with me was he talked about Global Voices, which was a group he founded at his school to bring people together to talk about politics or other controversial topics, but through a civil discourse, which can be difficult when when people who disagree talk, and especially now, right?
Right.
When you and Frederick Mensch, the Elks webmaster, and I go to lunch, and when we talk politics, we're all pretty close, right? So it's easy to be civil when you're talking to people who you agree with, but it's much harder when you disagree. So they discuss the issues, debate the issues, and then at the end of every meeting, they would brainstorm solutions, which I thought was really cool.
Right. We need more of that, especially in the times we're experiencing right now. But yeah, that was pretty great. It was a really great interview, and I'm very much looking forward to the 19 to come.
Well, we tried to get a heads up on what the next one would be on next Monday, but there was like 3 candidates, so we're not exactly sure. But what we are sure is that you're going to love it. So we'll put a link up here, and you really need to check out 20 for 20, and then plan to jump on it every Monday. You're going to love them, and it's going to make you feel so good about the Elks organization, the work the Elks do, and more personally about your donations to the Elks National Foundation.
Absolutely.
So what else do we have coming up, Debbie?
Oh, well, we have this little thing called the Hamper Hoop Shoot that's coming up. So look forward to finding out more about that. I think that's going to get posted sometime this week. And we're going to encourage everybody through our social media channels to, since you can't go to the gym, you can't go to the parks in a lot of places, to bring the hoop shoot to your home. If you have a hamper or a wastebasket, you're good. You can do this. Oh, and I guess a camera and a video that you can record yourself.
We're going to try to flood social media with the hashtag Hamper Hoop Shoot. Have you been practicing any shots, Debbie?
No.
No?
But would you like to see me do one right now?
Yeah, let's
see.
Let's take a look at this. A Hamper Hoop first entry.
Right here.
Ooh, I see the net there in the back.
Boom! Wow! You know what? That goes right along with every time I step up to the line at convention, when we used to have our little contests with our regional directors, and I'd get the big goose egg.
Well, as I like to say, and I've said often, that some of the best lessons from the hoop shoot come from failure, Debbie. So let's see how you respond to that bit of failure.
I'm going to keep on trying.
I've been trying to dress up a little bit more for the show in recent episodes, but I'm back to my T-shirt. I'm going to have to get used to dressing up again because in a week and a half or so, you and I are going to be hosting the big ENF2U Summer Series kickoff on June 28th at 5 p.m. Central, right?
That's right. Looking forward to it. It is going to feature our top 2 scholars. So
top 2 most valuable students and maybe some other content. And we're really looking forward to bringing that to you. We can't all get together in Baltimore, so let's do it virtually. We're going to come to you in your homes with some interviews with our top 2 scholars.
I'm looking forward to it. And then about every 2 weeks, we'll be doing something.
Additional content all summer long as we sort of get through this together.
That's right.
Anything else, Debbie?
No, it was good catching up with you. Yeah,
you too. So if you've liked this relatively brief episode of the Midday Minute, give us a thumbs up. If you disliked it, thumbs down. Either way, feel free to share it with your network. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and tap that bell so you'll be notified every time we post new content. And of course, don't forget to comment with the hashtag ENF Midday. So you will be entered into our contest to win a $50 soft credit to an ENF funded program of your choice.
I gotta
Thanks
get
for
the
tuning
practice.
in. Let's take another shot, Debbie.
Ah.
Oh, see you next, guys.
Okay. Bye.